Hi everyone, this is Kenzie. I don't even f***ing like Star Ocean.
It's my stress, that's for sure.
I put worst in quotations because the grand majority of opinions you'll see on this series is the following. Star Ocean 1 is aight. Star Ocean 2 is literally amazing. Star Ocean 3 is either a good game or a shitty booty, no in between, and the rest of them are straight up delusionally awful, with Star Ocean 6 being regarded as, well, at least it isn't Star Ocean 5. Regardless of what anyone on the internet says though, this series of videos is made by me, and it ain't about making them happy. It's about what I perceive about each and every game except Blue Sphere, because are you playing it? Because I'm not. And standing on my business. I cover whatever I want in the ways I deem appropriate. And if I like them, I play nice. But if I don't like them, it ain't gonna be pretty. Now, strap in, darlings, because you're in for the ride of your life. And on this ship, I didn't invest in seatbelts. So, fuck Tales of Fantasia, am I right? At least that's what the founders of Tri-Ace thought, but no, that game is actually pretty important. Being dissatisfied with the process of making Tales of Fantasia, the first game in the rival series Tales of, Tri-Ace went off to do their own homework and made sure not to copy too much. That's why these games are essentially the same. With the added influence of sci-fi, and more specifically Star Trek, these games have a core difference which makes them chill. But obviously, as Tri-Ace has shown over the course of the entire series, and as I will show, sometimes being different is more important to them than being good. As far as the history of the series goes, that's really all that I deem necessary. Now, Star Ocean 1 was never released here, which, before I started doing research, I didn't know. Now I know why getting an English copy was so fucking hard, because it doesn't exist. Okay, I think that's enough flavor text. I'm not a fucking MTG card. Let's reach for the stars. Star Ocean, the game that introduced humanity to space, or at least that's what I'm saying it did. What are you gonna do, prove me wrong? The game looks fucking fantastic. Even from the title screen, it's aesthetically pleasing, but it's also in 4x3. Maybe I can fill it out a bit?
What a fucking
Oh my god, no. We get to name our chubby cheek protagonist. His name is Rodix here, but Roddick in the PSP remake. Keeping in line with the remake, because I think it sounds better, I'm naming him Roddick. It's the same thing, isn't it? Once again, the game looks glorious. We start off with voice acting and cinematic on-screen text, and yeah, I know it sounds like
We just picked up a huge amount of unidentified energy.
come on, man. What do you do? We gotta kill the guys in space. We gotta go to Khan. But it was a long time ago. It's fine, and it's kind of revolutionary. This ship is receiving some interference, and it does something. I really didn't get what I was looking at. Shortly after, we get to see what this game looks like for real. We meet our friends Dorn and Millie. They get introduced by Dorn talking shit and then proceeding to get hit. They go on patrol and we follow them. Shit is popping off immediately because thieves are terrorizing the village, so let's downsize these bitch males. Ooh, now to experience what this game plays like. This was the part that I wanted to see the most. How does an SNES game do combat? Right, so you just mash the A button. Okay, not terrible. I've played Dynasty Warriors before. It's fine, it's just kind of clunky. You select a target and attack it, and all of your attacks are separate from one another. Of course, I'm not holding it against the game, it is what it is. But now, we gotta fuck up the boss. Baird, the leader of these dummies. God damn, he beat my ass. Stop! Excuse me, bitch? Okay, bitch. Round 2. I looked up if there was anything I was missing besides the attack command, and basically, no, just mash smarter. Okay, let's do it. Come on, Baird, come get this raw dick. Okay, so this time I make sure to murder his lackeys before focusing on him, and are you fucking— Star Ocean First Departure is a remake of Star Ocean 1, which includes anime-style portraits, updated visuals, and an updated battle system. The game starts off with this cute bitch, we'll name him Ken Dick. The game pretty much fleshes out every single little thing that we've seen already. The opening sequence is a straight-up anime cutscene, along with the introduction of Millie and Dorn. This dude still gets knocked the fuck out, but we can actually see her do a fucking shore you. Naturally, with this being a remake, the game is faithful to being a pixelated pre-rendered background having ass romp, but it's also pretty darn pretty to look at. So we grab grab our blackberry and head outside. Do y'all remember that music video with the dude? It's like the little black kid and he's like, trick about the new blackberry? Trick about the new... Trick about the new blackberry? Anyway, whatever. Interestingly enough, instead of jamming us into a situation where we have to murder on sight, we actually, you know, have to patrol like they were supposed to. Silly Tri-Ace. Eventually, you do meet the thieves from the original, but you also get reintroduced to combat. But this time, it's, and get this, Tails up. Just kidding, but not really. Every character with a sword has a combo that you can cancel into a special move that you'll end up getting after leveling a few times. Let me rephrase that. You, as in the person you're controlling, has a combo. The AI will just swing once and spam the shit out of whatever moves they have and waste all their MP in the process, without fail, every time.
Firestorm Blade! Firestorm Blade! Firestorm!
So that one blackberry they gave you in the beginning, yeah, try saving that shit for a rainy day. Silly Tri-Ace. Okay, I got a little too ahead of myself. Baird still hits harder than my ex, but having a healer in the fight this time around really helps take the edge off. Everyone reconvenes after the battle, and Kendrick's mom keeps trying to figure out why he's so depressed. He keeps telling her that it's because she just got to episode 14 of Nana and everything hasn't been the same since, but she just thinks he's in the closet. Either way, she'll never understand. I want to take a moment also to say that if this game sounds a tiny bit slow for the first hour, that's because it kinda is. But let me bump this bitch up for your viewing pleasure. There is a mystery disease also known as chlamydia, and it's ravaging the village of Coolsville, I don't know. And instead of cloudy piss and itchy discomfort, they get rock solid no Malphite. That's what you get for not having antibiotics in the year 300 AD or whatever the fuck this is. Millie ran off to find out if her father is okay. And in the best delivery that your average Fiverr hire can muster,
How can something like this happen?
now our mission is clear. We gotta find a cure for this disease. Rumor has it that we can get some herbs off of Mount Matorx, and Dorn reassures her. He also tries to confess to her. He falls over and it's very obvious that he has the clap now, but he ain't saying anything. That will absolutely come up later. We get close to the top of the mountain, but instead of finding just the herb, we also find two people who beam down in a fashion similar to, a space expedition? Ilya Silvestri and Ronix Kenny. They are the ones Star Oceaning. Also, this is generally what you will be expecting from Star Ocean, period. The one thing that all the games have in common is that the star people are always interacting with the people on underdeveloped planets. And yes, this violates what they call in every game the UP3, the Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact. But if you don't give enough of a fuck, no one ever gets penalized for this, so who fucking cares? I have more to say about the Star Ocean formula, but it won't be super duper relevant until we get a few more games down the line, okay? Okay. Back to these two though, they don't bullshit them. They say in plain English that those herbs ain't shit, and they can help. Of course, we don't trust them, but we have no choice because Dorn is also fucking dying. They do give us a choice though. We leave with them while giving up our lives as we know it, or we just stay here and rot? I don't know. Dorn decides to go because what the fuck does he care? He's literally at death's doorstep. And Millie cares a lot about her home, but sorry hun, we wouldn't have much of a game if we let you get your way. On the ship we go! I don't know why I typed that. I literally did not need that. So, while Dorn is getting healed aboard the ship gets attacked by worms. One thing leads to another, and they decide to go to planet Styx to go through a time gate to go back in time 300 years prior to stop the disease at the source. Will it work? They don't know. But hey, what's the more fun option? Going through the time gate, he says that bringing your weapons and equipment through the time gate will make you bounce off the gate. I have no idea how you'd even specify or enforce that, but whatever, I'll suspend my bullshit meter for that one. Also, they come out at very different locations, but still in the exact same time period, implying that taking your sweet ass time can influence your destination. But they also come out in groups of 2, so going in at the same time confirms that you will come out with that person, even though Millie and Ronix didn't go in at the same time, so bitch, what are you saying? We come out and no one seemed to see that, which is very interesting. She says that her clothes won't fly here, but considering that these chronic business minders didn't see us literally eat shit earlier, I highly doubt that they'll give that much of a shit. We get our shit together and make our way to 300 years younger cool. Just want to state for the record that this game has random encounters and you can't speed up your walking speed normally. Just saying. Yes, you can affect the rate of encounters, but we'll get there later. We make it to Cool and we see a merchant being accosted by some ruffian named Question Marks, and he is our first recruitable character. We can't talk to Baby before he gets his baba, so we go into this shop instead. This is where we get introduced to skills proper. You can't buy special moves this way, but these skills are more multi-purpose shit like cooking, alchemy, and just weird shit like whistling. But whistling is just as important as everything else, to be honest. These skills give rise to making sure that you can craft whatever you want, when you want, as easy as you want. Yeah, individually they don't do anything crazy aside from leveling up your stats here and there, or even being able to let you affect your random encounters. But leveling them up together can give you special skills that actually do shit, like letting you paint and stuff. It's the little things, okay? Eventually we get his ass. His name is Sias, and we get a mission to retrieve an item from a city and bring it back. What's the item? This fucking thing. Yeah, this game is silly and a bit goofy sometimes, especially when the party AI is concerned. It fucking sucks. Kinda. Remember earlier when I said that the AI will just spam and pour all their MP off the side of a steep cliff? Well, that shit gets really annoying in a full party. These fuckers will just up and die sometimes, and the answer to why is always because they spammed the shit out of their shit and now their shit is dead. Now that we delivered the Chungus, we have a choice to say either fuck Sias or let him join us. Unfortunately, dudes aren't canon, so bye-bye. We reach a cave, and it was around this time that I got pretty tired of having to speed up the emulator, so I had a genius idea. Why don't I just play the remaster of the remake? And that's what I did. Do I have impulse control issues? Pfft, probably. But look at this! It's gonna be so much better! Watch! Well, it's relatively better, I think. Also, on this save file, I got Sias, but trust me, I wish I didn't. I don't like convincing people I don't like that they're worth my time. What all comes with the Remake Master is the option to change your portraits for the characters to redrawn, modernized renditions of the characters. I personally do not like them because they just... I don't know, they just don't hit the same. I envision Kendick to be this fresh-faced cutie with a tail, which the new portrait just doesn't really convey in my opinion. Ilya too, she just looks different, and her outfit does not match her at all. I turned them on here and there to see how different they were, but my heart lies with the older portraits. They look great in high definition anyway. It's all down to preference at this point. Going through this cave and beating the fuck out of its residents, we run into... oh god.
The only thing I've ever groomed is my cat.
So at this point, the game becomes a party recruiting romp between different cities, and I don't think I have to mention too much more about it. So let's talk to the prostitute. I don't know what her job really is, that's just my first thought. Named Puffy. You can pay $600 to play a word game with this girl, and it's always a scam, but it's a cute little fun Zork game. So if you got some money to throw at the opposite gender, waste it. Don't be a bitch.
If you're a broke boy, just say so.
We meet another character named Fia, who has an attachment to Sias. Naturally, I like her more than him, but sometimes when you have people on your team, others won't join. They may join temporarily, but hey, it is what it is. Other people got shit to do. I'll say that in Star Ocean 3 this also happens, but in general, it isn't as topsy-turvy as it is in this game, at least from memory. As you get further into the game though, and as you make more bonds with other characters that you meet, you really do get to make your team pretty much exactly what you want. Not everyone can be a healer, but there are multiple healers, giving you choices on who to have in your party, who does the heavy lifting when crafting shit, and who does the music. Yes, the music is important, but honestly, up to this point, the game has been pretty damn easy. Every encounter was not difficult in the slightest. Maybe one of my characters would die, but that's only because their one resource that keeps them alive goes into the shitter as soon as I trust them with any. But that was kind of curved as soon as we found Millie again. She can dish out a bit of damage and heal the dickens out of everyone. Naturally, I was relieved to have a character that didn't just waste all the blackberries I gave them, but I'll take what I can get. She joined at a higher level than my entire party though, so I decided to grind to pick up the slack. I used a skill to increase random encounters and got to cooking. Alright, 2 mages. What are they, fire or some shit?
Nice.
Captain!
You know what? Let's unpack that. What in the fuck was that shit? Actually, no. That is fucked. 2 enemies where their main export is boom, 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 boom. Silly Tri-Ace. You want to play me like that? Well, I can play too. You want to try to break me? I'll break your game.
After he railed me like that from behind.
So there was no way I was gonna settle for fighting the piss-ass enemies when the two explodey mages were worth more. So simply, I found a way to tip the scales in my favor. Item creation! The goal is simple. Get a fuck ton of money so I can stock up on plenty of supplies. How? By getting my alchemy level high enough so that I can make philosopher's stones, no Harry Potter. They are worth a dick shit fuck ton of dinero. Naturally, I made as many as I could. All you need is some cheap-ass pieces of iron, and then you try to make them into stones. You make at least one per rotation, so sell them off and you'll have enough money to possibly pay for my therapy. Eventually, after repeating this for about 10 minutes or whatever, I ended up with $5,834,707. Chump change, I guess, but that's only step 1. Step 2 now is leveling up. That is why whistling matters. So whistle your ass off because you need to level up your music to level 4. The levels determine what monster you summon with a particular song. Apparently, the level 4 monster is the one monster that doesn't fight back as much as the others and pays out. To get the right song, you need to play The Devil Went Down to Georgia, and you get it by composing shitty piece after shitty piece of music until you stumble upon the right one. Once you do the right steps, you'll call the Dark Lord Lucy up from hell itself, or whatever this thing is. It has a fuck ton of health and will one-shot you, and it took me double-digit minutes to do it. But after a full team wipe, running away because I forgot to buy enough blackberries, and making sure my team didn't do anything stupid and ran away day and night, I went from the low level 30s to level 39 and 40-ish. Repeating this is very easy and only gets easier the more you level up skills, so in other words, fuck you, Explosionettes! Also, I learned how to target other enemies shortly after this, and that probably would have helped, and I didn't need to break the whole experience, but I raise you a shut the fuck up, please. Now watch these cats beat the fuck out of my characters. Okay, I think that's enough of this game. For the first game in the series, I think this game really is the safest one to start off with. You start off as just one character, every story beat is as basic as it gets, you meet all sorts of funny ass bitches, and overall, it exists, and it gave birth to Star Ocean 3, which I find to be an amazing turn of events. If you are gonna play it, play First Departure R. No reason to hunt down a PSP for it, and emulating it is great, but you do miss out on a few things you may want in a modern release. It's very purchasable on console, but not every console, which hurts it in the long run, but hey, if you wanted it, you probably have the shit by now anyway. Alright, we hit a little bit of an intermission, so I'm just gonna say, I have a Patreon and I have super thanks enabled if you want to support my work. I won't hold y'all here for long, but if you like this or any of my other videos and you want to know what I'm up to, those things are there. Now back to the Boo Boo Boogie Bear special. I personally believe, just like with Persona, the separation between the second and third games signify a massive shift in not only game feel, but just the overall vibe of the games. Yeah, Star Ocean 2 is a Star Ocean game through and through, but I just feel like we'll get there. Star Ocean 2 is the one that is up against the bad bitch of the old Tales games, Tales of Destiny. You know what the K stands for? It stands for Katreya, and for a long ass time it always has. Also, they announced a remake of the entire thing, and there is no way I can justify playing these games twice for a video, and I need to cover one in general and dig deeper with the other, and there is no way I'm ignoring the remake just to fully cover the game it is remaking. I'll cover it enough just so that you get the gist, but if you want more from me concerning Star Ocean 2, just know that the remake flambéed my plans and it looks literally perfect, so I ain't even mad. I bought it day one. Star Ocean 2, the one everyone likes.
Call it an ugly twink the way it cannot be topped.
And they aren't necessarily wrong, but hear me out. This game scares the fuck out of me. And I ain't talking like a jump scare. From what I understand, people really like this game for the private actions in this game alongside the amount of choice given to the player. I didn't touch on PAs earlier, but now is the time. Private actions are essentially moments when you enter a town where your party goes off to different areas of the city and you can find them and talk to them and have a little powwow with them. I got pretty disinterested in looking for the characters and knowing which characters will have them versus which characters will just stand there and say some irrelevant shit, so I didn't focus on that much. Did I do them in the newer games? Absolutely, but we'll get there. I know I'm saying that a lot, but oh my god, I promise the cinematic universe type shit will pay off. Star Ocean 2 on its original hardware is like basically the same as the remake, so I'll start there this time around. But just so I cover my bases, it looks good in both aspects, and the original is essentially a lower resolution version of what I'm using now, which is the PSP remake. The PSP remakes of the games are kinda interesting though. If you've ever played Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes, then you probably know that the game was made resembling Metal Gear Solid 2 while being a remake of the first Metal Gear Solid. Star Ocean 1 got the same treatment kind of, because it was never released in the States before this, but there is one core difference at the beginning of Star Ocean 2 that really separates it from its estranged father. You can start off as one character, or the other. Claude Kenny and Rena Lanford. One is from the up and one is from the down. Let's fucking talk about this. 100%, I think that playing as the Spacemans is way more interesting than playing as the Planet Dwellers. Star Ocean 3 and 4 are both that way starting out, and both are my favorites, strangely enough. In 1, you play as the Tail People, and while that isn't bad, discovering the secrets and ways of life of a brand new planet is definitely in the spirit of something called Star Ocean. Yeah, you could say that exact same thing about the Lesser Thans being able to explore the Star Ocean that they've only been able to see from the ground in their villages, but then you wouldn't be me. They give you both options, which is the both worlds. I won't say best of both worlds because Rena's intro is slow as fuck. Her perspective starts out on land, and a weird phenomenon happens in the sky and lands in the forest. Short and sweet, okay, I'm vibing. We zoom in on her little house and then we get to control her. Everyone felt a quake from that lightning shit from earlier, but Rena don't give no damn. She wanna explore the sacred forest where that lightning shit took place. You get to pillage the village and collect all the items. Wait a minute. So this village right here, this is a time gate that happened. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. That shit was a time gate, just like in the first game, but the people in the village didn't react at all in that cutscene. But fucking, I guess this part is different. This one caused an earthquake. The other one was just a little bit of just a little visitor from the outer worlds. Our starting items this time around are a revive, starting armor, and $200. Honestly, I kinda want the Blackberry back. She heads into the forest and almost gets her life cut off by a big old scary monster. When right before that, she says,
This place couldn't possibly be any safer.
Goodbye, my nigger. Back to the lobby.
But in the shadows, ready to be the main protagonist is Claude Kenny, saving her from herself and killing the wildlife, but fucking the UP3 in the process. Pesky UP3 being about as effective as the Geneva suggestions. After that shindig, we go back to the village, and my pea-brain had a really hard time hanging on to everything right here. I just wasn't as interested as I could have been, largely because the talk to everyone to build the world JRPG thing just never works on me. It just feels like bussy work. Wait, I typed bussy instead of busy. Of course I did it, but just in case you don't know, I am very easy to please, yet hard to please. I will drop shit at the drop of a dime, and that is just how it is. Of course I didn't drop this, but if I didn't have a dog in this fight, I probably would have. Character-driven interactions work, but not all the time in my opinion. I wasn't inherently interested in Rena, so I wasn't, by extension, interested in her village. But it kind of pulled me in when the cuckoo started rearing its ugly head. Rena thinks that we are the hero of legend, like on some Zelda shit. At first I thought that this game was gonna play Rena up to be some hyper-religious fundamentalist that would like purity test Claude or some shit, but she wasn't. Mistaking his phase gun for some holy light though is actually pretty damn funny and interesting, and I did like that. See? Easy to please, but also hard to please. After they basically debunk the hero theory together, this dude named Alan kidnaps Rena and takes her to a place to make her his life partner. What in the Don Corneo? This section even has its own quirky song to go with it, like in Final Fantasy VII. I wonder what it's called, hold on. Weathercock. What the fuck is a weathercock? Weathercock, bitch. What the fuck is a weathercock? Bitch, I'm asking. What the fuck is a weathercock? Does somebody know? What the fuck is a weathercock? Cock with some weather, bitch? What the fuck is a weathercock? Bitch, I don't know. What the fuck is a weathercock? Raina, do you know? What the fuck is a weathercock? The fuck a weathercock? I just googled it. I found a dick. Stop. Shut your ass up. Right. After fumbling about this place, we go underground and then we have to escape. Playing Raina here doesn't feel amazing, but I'm sure that Claude has a 3-hit combo, so I ain't sweating it. Eventually, you make it to Alan's inner sanctum where he is gearing up to do a blood sacrifice. Oh my god, no! And Claude comes in to save her again. What a dutiful dude. We beat the shit out of Alan like the nerd emoji he looked like. After this, I'm assuming that Raina is falling head over heels for Mr. Kenny, and honestly, it's okay because I ship it. We get more moments, but at this point, I'm just ready to leave this place and start exploring. So just to mention, in this game, Raina does not have a 3-hit combo like her sword-wielding crush. Does she need one? No, but it feels closer to Star Ocean on the Famicom where you couldn't do a combo, but could just do one attack at a time. I didn't like that, so to be honest, I played with Claude more. It just feels better to me. Going through the overworld at this point, you also get sunset and shit, which looks fucking gorgeous. Oh my god, like this made me Nutella. Our trek leads us to a city named Cross, and Raina suggests that we go to an inn for the night. Very typical JRPG shit. We meet Raina's Aunt Rachel and they catch up. I like Rachel a little bit, but she is very pushy about her niece's sex life. Like incredibly pushy.
Oh, Oh, found a new man, did you?
Please, let's not do
Worrying,
this.
Weston.
He's not my boyfriend.
Oh, they're so cute.
Well, you're in luck.
Why are they in love?
I've got a lovely vacant room just for the two
Stop
of you.
it!
Oh, nothing but the best for my niece on
God,
her special
please!
night.
I told you already, it's not like that at all. I swear.
Not at all, huh?
Claude, behave! What?
Make yourselves comfy.
Weird.
Take care of Raina for me, all right?
See, now anything you say is just out of pocket, okay?
Yes.
In this room, they do share a nice moment, and no, it's not about Claude shoving his Kenny into her Lanford. He tells her that she doesn't have to call him Mr. Kenny. They are friendly now, and formalities are kinda lame, so Claude will do. She obliges. I like that. Their interactions are really nice. I get why people like this game somewhat. Of course, I'll get it more when I play the remake, but I digress.
Well, how did things go?
Oh my god, not again.
We had a great night's sleep, Aunt Rachel. Thanks for asking.
Oh, you know that's not what I meant.
Okay, Raina, let's go. Your auntie is bad touch as fuck. Oh, look at the cute doggy. We went to the castle shortly after, and this was relevant to the story, I'm sure, but I could not be asked to listen because we have an altercation in the town square, and that is way more interesting to me.
Is that how you should treat a lady? I don't
Let's
think
go,
so.
Raina. Let's go! This woman says the time for talk is over and blows him the fuck up with some fire magic. No boss fight or anything, this shit just resolves. I love this. She introduces herself as Celine Jules, no family Jules. She is going to a place called Cross Cave, and since I'm a chronic Simpson, I had to follow her up on her request. She's a pretty kick-ass mage alongside fulfilling the much needed offensive mage role for this part of the game, until she runs out of MP and then she is not really a sitting duck but rather a duck with no damn legs. I'm gonna need my duck sauce. As I was playing more and more, I essentially pretty much knew that I would like more, so I saved myself for the remake, but I did want to do Claude's intro just to see if that one complaint I had would be remedied by his story instead. And holy shit, it was like this intro really just feels plain old better. I named him Fraud because it made me laugh in the moment, leave me alone. I came to find out that the intro is the same for a second, but then it shifts quickly to his perspective. He explains that a race in space started a bunch of Star Wars, and he recaps the events of the first game. If you're coming right off of that one, then this one will feel great. Also, Ronick is Fraud's father. The direct connection between the games really helps it to feel better chronologically anyway. I like it this way. In the remake, I may just start off with Claude just to see how it begins. Will it start with these anime cutscenes? How good will it look? It does nothing but excite me. Ronick does that thing that Colonel does in Metal Gear where he tells you the button to press even though Claude doesn't have a fucking controller in his hand. Claude gets himself caught by his own hubris, and he gets isekai'd to another world for his sins. Claude gets sent to the Sacred Forest, and here we have the other perspective of the lightning shit. It was a warp, like I said earlier. We meet Raina immediately about to get Robloxed. If we were any later than we were, she would have been a chunky mess of body parts, but thank goodness it was written in her favor. The game basically progresses as normal with some low-key perspective changes throughout, but you could rewind this video and basically get my exact same perspective. But other than that, there is just one question that matters at the end of both of them. Do I like the game? Absolutely. More than Star Ocean 3? Bitch, you know the answer to that. Yes, I like both of these, but that's kinda it. I just like them. Aside from the wealth of crafting options that actually make me want to do it over other games where you just craft bullets and healing shit, the games are just very safe. Not a bad thing, they could be safe and bad, but no, they're safe and great. Both of these games are kind of in a vacuum though, and if you tried to move on to the newer Star Ocean games, it might be some growing pains, but if you just wanted to stick to these two, I really don't blame you. Recruitable characters and tons of missable content really do push a do what you want to get to the end type of experience. If you meet a playable you like, you may just not get them, and that's fine. Do I prefer having the opportunity to get every single person? Yes, of course I do. But for these two, I like them for having the chances to miss certain things and making your choices matter in some way. As much as I brought up Tales, these games are different from it, but as for the first two, they definitely have their inspirations. But with the advent of 3D, these games got really weird, and with that came a series that morphed into something that can only be described as different. In some ways a trendsetter, in some ways a train wreck, the flop era of the Star Ocean series will leave you wondering your ass off. What the fuck was Tri-Ace thinking? I have opinions and I'm gonna slang them in due time, and I hope you're there for it when that ship crash lands. Hey, nice to see you. You made it to the end. If you made it this far, I'm sure you liked something you saw. So I would just like to ask that you subscribe, leave a comment, like it if you do, because that shit really helps out. I know people say that all the time, but it's true. That does feel good and it helps. Also, if you really liked what you saw and you think I'm just a priggly old peach, I have a Patreon. If you want to keep up and you want to know what my process is, It's right there if you want to. It's not mandatory, but it's definitely appreciated. Most importantly, no matter what you decide to do, just know that I just want you to stay safe, stay hydrated, and most importantly, stay cute.